Introducing the Paramena Bliss Podcast, a show dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of achieving optimal health naturally as you transition into perimenopause and menopause. Get ready to join your host, Dr. Seth Yates, an experienced naturopathic doctor, acupuncturist, and kinesiologist, as he shares his wealth of knowledge acquired from over 40,000 patient visits and 15 years in working with perimenopausal females. Welcome to the Paramena Bliss Podcast.
Hey, this is Doc Yates. Welcome to the Paramena Bliss Podcast. Thanks for joining me today on The Drive. And today I want to talk about something. These are some strategies that I use and encourage patients to use. And I'm calling it joy stacking. Joy stacking. And the whole premise of this is to take things that you really enjoy doing and love doing and being able to combine them with things that you need or should do. And the goal is to make this combination so much that you still enjoy doing it, but then you're actually getting some of these other things accomplished that, they're on your back of the closet, get to later, to-do list, and building that in. Because just like when it comes to taking supplements, in my opinion, combos are key. Rather than trying to do all of these individual things, or, for instance, take all these individual supplements or doing all these things individually, if you can have a nice combination, because most of us are at that stage of life where there's kids to take care of, there's work, sometimes aging parents to take care of, depending on where you're at. Life is busy, so the more things that you can do that you love and build into combination, it's going to work out best. So let's go through some of these concepts of joy stacking. Now, I'm going to go through 10 of them that I like to incorporate, and if you want to incorporate it, I think that's great. But some of the things you want to make sure that you can do when you're making these combinations is that the combinations, they need to match the energy of the other one. Like, for instance, I wouldn't say, oh, you want to practice meditation with, like, sprinting and burpees, because the energy is totally different. Or you wouldn't want to say, I'm going to combine, HIIT workouts with sketching, because it just doesn't work. So you want the energy levels to match, and ideally you want the location to match, so they're things that you can easily pair together. So let me give some examples. Working out. There's a lot of times people don't feel like they have the energy to do a workout, and a lot of times, to be honest, that's because people have this built-up idea, or the bar is raised so high in terms of what they think a workout should be, that they don't want to do it. They're like, oh, I don't have 45 minutes to an hour to work out. And it's like, you don't need 45 minutes. You need just do 15 to 20 minutes, do something. But combine that. Take something that you love. So let's say you've got an audiobook or a favorite show or some music you want to listen to. Combine that with your exercise. Take those things that you like, one of those three things, and then make it, okay, while I'm listening to this, I'm going to be on the treadmill, going for a walk, just standing in my kitchen doing squats, something to kind of increase that movement and the exercise to go with it. So the workout combination is key, and that's something that a lot of people already use. Food combinations. I'll give you an example. I wanted to take it upon myself to eat a lot more pumpkin seeds. They're great for men's health. They're high in protein. They're high in zinc. But I really don't like pumpkin seeds. So I took something that I do love, chocolate. So I took cocoa, and then I took coconut oil, made that into like a chocolate mix sweetened with a little monk fruit, put that on my pumpkin seeds. All four of those things are healthy. And then bam, now I love pumpkin seeds. So you can do those little food combinations to take something that you don't like and make it something you do like. Now, one caveat with this would be you don't want to combine it with something really unhealthy, so you want to use these healthy little tweaks. Like, for instance, if I said, I want to eat pumpkin seeds, so therefore I mixed it with a bucket of ice cream. Not the same thing. So you want to take things that are healthy that you do like and then try and add in those other things with it. Herbal teas. Herbal teas, and I've talked about this in a lot of podcasts, but I'm a huge fan of herbal teas because there's so many benefits to herbal teas and they're so simple. But people often don't think of the times in terms of when I'm going to have an herbal tea. Combine them with your meal time. So for instance, when the moment you start your meal prep, turn the kettle on. Just make that part of your routine. Okay, meal prep, kettle on. I'm having this meal, and then by the time I'm done, my herbal tea will be steeped and cooled down, and I'm going to drink that down to finish my meal. And you can use, at that point, you could be using digestion-enhancing teas. You could be using immune-boosting teas. You could be using calming teas, depending on the time of day, focusing teas. So many options. So try to find a way to combine herbal teas into your mix. Okay, next one. YouTube. Everybody loves YouTube. Because at the end of the day, when you're exhausted, just flipping on some YouTube and watching some interesting stuff is great. Now, this is where I was talking about combining the energy levels. At the time of day when you're totally done at the end of the night and you're just watching a little YouTube, it's probably not the time where I'd say, oh, now you're going to go for a 10-mile run because you're already done at this point. But you can stretch. And stretching before bed, especially just while watching something on YouTube, can make a big difference on how you feel the next morning when you're getting out of bed. Especially if you've been doing more exercise, more working out, stretch before bed and you will feel a lot looser and better recovery in the morning. So there's no better time to do that when you're watching YouTube. You can put like a little timer on your phone so it goes off every 60 seconds, and that's when you just switch into a different stretch position. And it doesn't even have to be like an exact science. Like if you want to stretch, the front of the leg, then the back of the leg, then the front of the chest, then the back. You can kind of alternate in between, but just for now, just start adding some of these sequences and some of these stretches in. Lying in bed. So that time of night when you've either gone to bed or when you first wake up in the morning and it's not quite time to get up yet and you're just kind of enjoying lying in your nice warm bed. That's a great time to just chill out with some deep breathing exercises, meditation, or prayer. So rather than just laying there staring at the clock, wondering, okay, now's the time I gotta get up, take control of that situation. These are all things that are still very relaxing, but yet there's even more added benefits to them. So deep breathing exercises, prayer, and meditation while you're lying in bed. Okay, water. Most people know and most people realize that they need to drink more water than what they are. Now, I'm not a fan of like overconsumption of water, because I know there's a lot of programs I've seen like, oh, you want to lose weight, you have to drink 4 to 5 liters of water per day. And I've seen people get hospitalized from just drinking too much water and leading to electrolyte imbalances. So I do like, though, that 2 to 2.5 liters per day, and I find a lot of people do well with that. Now, there's exceptions to that rule, and if you're a very large person and your job is very physical and you're sweating all the time, yeah, maybe then you'll need some more water than that. But generally speaking, 2 liters to 2.5 liters, which is really that 8 to 10 glasses of water per day. Water can be boring, and that's the reason a lot of people don't like it. They're like, I just don't want to drink plain water. I just don't like it. So do whatever you can to enhance your water. Like in the summertime, I'll put it through like one of those bubbly making machines. So it's like a soda stream. So that helps. You can add natural flavors to it. Some people will take their water and they'll put lemons or limes into it. You can put a little bit of essential oils into it, and you can vary that depending on the different health goals that you have. So add some extra oomph and enhance your water. Do that as a combination and add things that not only improve the taste but are good for you. And then bam, you've doubled that up and you've increased your water consumption and got these extra benefits at the same time. Okay, this is one of my personal favorites. Hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. So I always do like a homemade healthy hot chocolate. Typically my recipe, I like to add a lot of cinnamon to it. I use typically cashew milk, cocoa, sweeten it with a little monk fruit. But what I do is we use a product called Essential Effects. So it's like a smoothie powder. It's got a wide array of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and collagen, and I'll blend that into my hot chocolate. And hot chocolate is kind of like when you're trying to get kids to eat something, so you have to hide it in like meatballs and soups and stuff because it's all blended together. And that's what hot chocolate is. It hides the flavor of so much stuff. So you can put things like cinnamon, you can put maca in it, you can put this essential effects smoothie powder into it, and then it's literally like having a smoothie, but it's a hot chocolate. So that works out great. That's one of my favorites. Now, the next one is you can combine driving. Now, driving isn't really something that people want to do, per se. It's maybe not a joyful thing, but it's something that people do often and need to do. So you can combine that with something like tutorials, audiobooks. If there's something you wanted to do, say you wanted to learn a new language, learn more about a topic, combine that with your driving. Just hop in the car, and while you're on your commute, put on something that you've always wanted to learn. And think about that, like your drive to and from work. Let's say you wanted to learn Spanish. If you were to put that on continuously for a year and a half, you'd learn a boatload of Spanish. And really, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of your lifelong commute, what's a year and a half? So combine your drive, rather than just staring there frustrated at the brake lights in front of you. Combine it with something that you've always wanted to do and always wanted to learn. So joy stack the drive. Okay, the next one we have, hanging out with friends. It's always nice to hang out with friends. But rather than just hang out and drink wine with your friends, what if you had your friends over and then you guys decided that everyone bring their walking shoes, and when we're hanging out, we're still going to talk, we're still going to catch up, but we're going to go for a nice walk together. Combine hanging out. You're not probably going to be able to combine hanging out with a workout. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to talk all of your friends into that. But you can always combine it with a walk. And most of your friends, because I know them, most of your friends are probably thinking the same thing, that they know that they want to increase their activity level too, but they want to hang out with you. And when you make that suggestion, they'll think, oh, that's a great idea, because they're probably trying to improve their health too, but they just haven't maybe been talking about it. So combine your walk with hanging out with friends. And number 10, the final one, try to find moments to be creative. It's really good for your brain. It's really good for your mental health. Look for moments to be creative. For instance, when you're having your morning coffee, if there's anything you wanted to do, say you were writing, say you're drawing, say you're working on a song or a design, whatever it is, try to find moments that you can feed this creativity. And the more you feed it, the more creative you will get. And the more creative you will get, the better it helps with stress management, the better it improves your brain, your focus, your mind. Look for moments to be creative. For myself, I like music, and I write a lot of songs and perform a lot of songs. So I do a lot of that when I'm not podcasting, when I'm driving. When I'm driving, often in the car, there's no radio on, and sometimes I'm just working on a song. That's when my creative time is. So find something that works for you. Find something that you've wanted to work and improve your creativity with, and build it that way. So, without further ado, this is Doc Yates. I hope this was helpful, and I'm signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to the Paramena Bliss podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and visit parametabliss.com for more valuable information on how you can thrive during your transition through perimenopause. Join our community of like-minded women who are dedicated to achieving optimal health naturally, and stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and advice from Dr. Seth Yates. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Paramena Bliss podcast.